So this actually again was one of those originals that worked as beautifully as its remake that I'd watched in a theater. Hi guys, this is Farhad and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. If you're new to this channel, then please smash that subscribe button now. And as a video ritual, remember to like and comment on the video. Liking and commenting helps fuel the YouTube algorithm. And today, from the Blast from the Past section, it is a lull period, so we are headed that way. From the Blast from the Past section, the film that we are going to be discussing is the Malayalam film, the 2011 Malayalam film called Traffic. Now, interestingly, I had watched the Hindi version of this film in a theater in 2016. That film was also titled Traffic, and it had Manoj Bajpayee. The directors were same, Rajesh Pillai. Rajesh Pillai's final work was the Hindi film Traffic, as I would say. Now, coming back to this era of 2011, it was this one of those middle periods for the Malayalam film industry wherein I think the filmmakers were actually searching for their identity. It's almost similar to the crisis that the Hindi film industry is going on right now, although the things weren't as bad as the things are today. So that era marked it was one of the starting eras wherein new age filmmakers were being fueled into the industry. And while the old ones were, fast, losing track of time, the ones that they had ruled, through the 90s, absolutely, the new age filmmakers were actually coming in. And that is when Rajesh Pillai stepped up with this film, which was Traffic. Now, Traffic has a very simple kind of a premise. If I have to say from its core, it's by the way based on a true incident. It had to take the set of characters from point A to point B with a lot of hurdles in between. This actually would have been a very simplistic story, but credit to the writing. And who are the writers? They were the writers of a film which was later remade in Hindi called Deva from Mumbai Police. It was Bobby Sanjay. They were the writers here, and what they did was they conceptualized the whole thing from a fictional point of view. So the format here that I am told, and I was reading it on the net, the format was called the hyperlink format, wherein there were multiple characters that were introduced together around a single incident that happened here. Here the single incident was the accident that would eventually take place, cut to which there were two lives that were interlinked with each other. The first life is of a journalist, an aspiring journalist who met with the worst fate. He was in coma and would definitely not survive. The second was the daughter of a superstar whose heart is having a heart condition rather, and so therefore it was about taking the heart or transplanting the heart from patient A to patient B. Only thing is that these two patients are not at the same place, and that is what the structure of the film actually was. From going from point A to going from point B, and it made for a very very thrilling watch, but with the right set of emotions. Now, the hyperlink format that I was talking about, I was witness to very early on in a later film that would eventually come out. I had watched that film much earlier than this film rather. It was Manmagan, which was Lokesh Kanagraj's debut film, and I think that again was instilling the format of this hyperlink format and introducing characters. Here, however, the impressions, the kind of emotions that you have for the characters, is steady, with each shifting momentum that is there. Each character has something to contribute to the story in a way to take it forward, and I think that is the format that the film was referring to. The characteristics, the character dynamics was one of the important traits here, and it dealt with a lot of interesting concepts, of how unity can bring the world together, how empathy towards the other can also lead to a set of good karma. There were certain instances here if the family of the victim hadn't, agreed, the film wouldn't have been the same. I'm talking also in parallel to the actual event that may have transpired. Cut to the hurdles that were there. So it was also about redemption in many ways, because you are witness to a character arc of a character who is honest but does that one thing that is dishonest, which is why everyone starts looking down upon him, and this is a redemption arc of sorts as well. This is also true about getting that, allowing your friend to probably stay alive in somebody else. So it's also about friendship. There are many, many, many layers to this film that would actually transpire into Traffic. At its core, you can say it's a road thriller, but there's so much more to it that actually elevates the drama. And I remember watching this in 2016, Traffic, which was there, the Hindi version. That had a stellar cast as well, by the way, and it was one of the 3 releases that had come out. I don't remember the other 2, but this was the 3rd release, in the sense the 3rd least interested release, the lowest buzz for a film that is there compared to the other 2 eventual releases that were there, and I opted for this one first, incidentally, and I quite remember coming out of the film quite satisfied, I would say. And when I revisited this film here, the original film Traffic, the 2011 film, I had a similar emotion. It was a very well crafted film. You may see that the production design is not as good. The technical side of things, you may see, oh, it may be stale for 2025, but when you look at it from a neutral gaze, you understand that it's actually been shot very well. The frames have depth, because you are to show the actual incident, actual car passing through from point A to point B. It required a lot of skill and a lot of planning as well, as far as the framing was concerned. And that, I think, the filmmaker Rajesh Pillai, the late Rajesh Pillai now, did a wonderful job. And I think the direction was really very solid. Even the framing was pretty good. It added a lot of depth, with the first person camera, with the car moving in at the full speed, with the camera being placed at the side or on the front. It actually gave you a first person insight into the proceedings, and I think that was pretty interesting as well. Coming to the performances, I think there are so many actors that have now established themselves in the Malayalam film industry. It's always fun, to look back at their starting work. You had the likes of Vineet Sreenivasan, who's also a prolific writer, director at the point, good performer always. Thankam was a wonderful performance from him, which was there. You also have the thriller Ali guy, Asif Ali. He was wonderful here again, very earnest, very sincere. A character, and made for a solid impact. You also had somebody like Rahman, who later would go on to do Mumbai Police in 2013, 2 years after that, and I think he did a pretty solid job as well. Kunchacko, oh my god, this same guy was recently seen in a film called Officer on Duty, and absolutely killed it, and how, and the range of an actor you can see as well. There's this affable yet person who's guilty about something that he's done in the film, to cut to something who's totally badass. There was similar kind of character traits, with the regret that they had with some portions of some people of their family. If I have to compare, Officer on Duty with this character, but the character traits are very different. He's the guy here, the character that Kunchacko Boban is playing here in this film is very different. He's almost guilt-ridden and is forced to take up that step. Although he remains sincere and earnest with the overall efforts of the people around him, and I think that was a very interesting parallel that you could draw. Even Anup Menon, who plays the cop, was superb in the film. It has MVP, Mr. MVP Sreenivasan, the senior Sreenivasan, I would say. I think he did a smashing job. The amount of subtlety and nuances that he brought to his character through his expressions. First, when you see him, he's almost like looked down upon by his own daughter. cut to that right at the end, when there's a little fight that is erupting, at the end you see him just breaking into a smile, saying that he did something on that day almost to contribute to a life in this universe. And I think that was such a beautiful expression that he brought on his face at the end, and I think he did a terrific job. I mean, the amount of emotions about unity and equality and universal brotherhood is absolutely beautifully explored in this film. It's highly recommended, I would say. Even the direction, as I said, by Rajesh Pillai is pretty solid here. So that was it, guys. Then I think I just wanted to revisit this film. It was sitting in my watch list for a very long time, and Traffic I did, and I absolutely loved it. Let me know your thoughts on what did you make of this film. Did you like it? Did you not like it? This was again an era that is that in between era, from the moment of brilliance to the bridge between moment of brilliance to the eventual moment of brilliance that the Malayalam film industry was traversing. There's a rich history beyond this film that leading up to this film, rather, that was there, that contributed to the cinema in this brief period, that it was searching for its identity. Everyone was, in the industry, and now again it has gained momentum once again. So what was the thoughts, while you watched it? Because I know this is a cult film and many of y'all may have watched it already and liked it as well. So I want to know your thoughts on what did you make of this film. And I think this is what cinema should also do, as far as I would say. It should not fuel hatred by any way. You are promoting, and I'm not saying do not make flawed characters in the film. That is not what I'm hinting at. But I'm saying the end messaging that is there should also be something that the audience can take. And at least that's a personal preference, rather. You need not make a film that is totally filled with hatred. You can make a film that is heartfelt and you just leaves a smile on your face at the end, which Traffic did. So I mean, that was the video, guys. I mean, you can share your opinion in the comments. You can like the video. Remember, liking and sharing and commenting helps fuel the YouTube algorithm, and when you're sharing, you can share it with your friends and family as well. You can grow this Digi family together. You can also read all the detailed reviews on my site, Popcorn Reviews with the double S. I have put up a review of the English film Novocaine, which is releasing tomorrow, by the way, tomorrow on Friday. I had a screening and I did watch the film. I loved the film. So the detailed review of that, you can read it in your language on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, remember. You can also follow me in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Letterboxd. All information is present in the description box below. I do not end up making a video on everything that I watch, but I do write a lot. All information is available on my social media handles and on my website. I'll see you soon with another video. Till then, take care of yourselves and thank you so much for your love and support. Cheers.